Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast Special Edition Series, where I go over every 2023 men's college basketball conference tournament as I make predictions round by round. Next up is the Big Sky. This is the 13th of 32 episodes of the series. This tournament will be held at Idaho Central Arena in Boise, Idaho. First round will begin Saturday, March 4th. Quarterfinals Sunday, March 5th, and Monday, March 6th. Semifinals Tuesday, March 7th. And the championship game Wednesday, March 8th. 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 11:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Alrighty, so the seedings for this tournament. So your one seed in this tournament with a record of 22-9 overall, 16-2 in conference play, Eastern Washington. Your 2 seed, Montana State, also 22-9 overall, but 15-3 in conference play. Your 3 seed was Weber State, 17-14 overall, 12-6 in conference play. Your 4 seed is Montana, 16-13 overall, 10-7 in conference play. Your 5 seed is Idaho State, 11-20 overall, 8-10 in conference play. Your 6 seed is Sacramento State, 14-17 on the year, 7-11 in conference play. Your 7th seed is Portland State, 12-18 on the year, 6-11 in conference play. Your 8th seed is Northern Colorado, 11-19 overall, 6-12 in conference play. Your 9th seed is Northern Arizona, 9-22 on the year, 5-13 in conference play. And your 10th seed is Idaho, 10-21 on the year, 4-14 in conference play. So it all begins Saturday, March 4th, 5:30 Mountain, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Plus. 10 seed Idaho, 9 seed Northern Arizona. Idaho's terrible. They're always terrible. But they have 2 actually pretty decent scorers in Isaac Jones and Devontae Moffitt. Northern Arizona. Usually pretty bad. They have 2 guys averaging double figures per game. Jalen Cone and Xavier Fuller. My projection here, believe it or not, is Northern Arizona 0.7, total 145 and 3/10. So I'm going to advance Northern Arizona. So they do their first round similar to the Atlantic Sun, but the difference between these 2 leagues is that ASUN reseeds, Big Sky doesn't. And your second of 2 first round games on Saturday, March 4th, 8 seed Northern Colorado, 7 seed Portland State. Northern Colorado has a pretty decent scorer in Dalton Knecht, over 20 a game and over 7 boards. And they also have another good scorer in Dalen Counts at almost 17 a game. And then Portland State, they have an 18 a game guy in Cameron Parker. I project Northern Colorado by 3.2, total 151 and a 10th. So therefore I have the seeding upset of Northern Colorado over Portland State. All right, to the quarterfinals. 19 Northern Arizona, 1 seed Eastern Washington. Eastern Washington started undefeated in conference play, but they kind of fell off lately. They lost their last 2 conference games. So they did not finish conference play undefeated. They have 3 double-digit guys. Steele Venners, Angelo Allegri, and Tyrese Davis. My projection is Eastern Washington by a whopping 15 over Northern Arizona, so therefore I have Eastern Washington advancing. Second of 4 quarterfinal games. Second of 2 on Saturday, March 5th. Or Sunday, March 5th, my mistake. 18 Northern Colorado, 2 seed Montana State. Montana State's pretty good too. 2 double-digit per game guys, and Raekwon Battle and Jubrile Belo. My line is Montana State 11.7. So therefore I have them advancing. Third of 4 quarterfinal games. First of 2 on Monday, March 6th. 5 seed Idaho State, 4 seed Montana. Idaho State overachieved in conference play in my mind this season. 3 double-digit per game guys led by Brock McKenzie. And Montana, usually a decent team in this league. 4 double-digit scorers led by Alan Moody and Josh Bannon. I project Montana 13.5, total 138.5 over Idaho State, so therefore I have Montana advancing to the semis. And the last of 4 quarterfinal games, second of 2 on Monday, March 6th. 6 seed Sacramento State, 3 seed Weber State. Sacramento State, in the middle of the pack this season, usually in the bottom. 2 double-digit guys, Zach Chappell and Callum McRae. Callum McRae, pretty good rebounder, could put up a double-double. And Weber State, usually a good team in this league. 2 double-digit scorer guys, led by Dylan Jones, who's a double-double guy, and Stephen Verplackenson Jr. My projection is Sacramento State, Weber State, 5.7, total 135, so therefore I have Weber State advancing, so it's a chalk semifinal. Tuesday, March 7th, 4 seed Montana, 1 seed Eastern Washington. Should be a decent game. Montana has a lot of balance. Eastern has some pretty decent balance, but they're just more dominant. I project Eastern only 2.2 over Montana, so I have them advancing in the second of 2 semifinal games for Tuesday, March 7th. 3 seed Weber State, 2 seed Montana State. I think this is a terrific game. I really like Battle and Balo of Montana State, and in Weber State, I really like Jones and for Plankin. I project Montana State by 2.5. Or I'm sorry, 7.3 over Weber State. I'm surprised myself that projection came out as large as it did. But anyway, I have Montana State into the championship game. So chalk title game for Wednesday, March 8th on ESPN2. 2 seed Montana State, 1 seed Eastern Washington. This is clearly the dream matchup. The 2 best teams in this conference. Both teams are really deep. I think the best player on the court here is going to be Battle of Montana State. I actually project Montana State 3.7 over Eastern Washington. So therefore, a little bit of an upset here. Your 2023 Big Sky tournament winners, the Montana State Bobcats. All right, so I have Montana State winning this thing. Eastern Washington might be NIT bound. CBI, Weber State, maybe Montana. Sac State could enter postseason potentially as well. I want to look at odds real quick for this tournament. I'm sure Eastern Washington's favored to win this tournament. And let's see here. Montana State's actually favored plus 115. Eastern's 250. Montana's 450. Weber's 11-1. Sac State's 20-1. Idaho State 29. Northern Colorado's also 29. Northern Arizona's 40. Portland State's 50. And Idaho is a whopping 150. If there's value on anybody, I'd say it's Weber State at 11-1. I think that's pretty good odds. I think that they should be 10-1. So I'm getting a little bit of value with Weber State. So if I had a value pick to win this, it's definitely them. Although Idaho State is pretty deep. Forget who would. Oh, Northern Colorado has a 20-a-game guy. They're 29-1. I know it was one of those longer shots, but if I had to pick a value play, it is Weber State. All right, so there we have it for the 2023 Big Sky Conference Tournament. Next up will be America East.